Most of man's problems stem from the inability to sit in a room alone quietly. This is a quote from Blaise Pascal. Um, and it's one of those quotes and kind of philosophies and ways of thinking that's kind of really just stuck with me. And the key to that, what I found is this is something everybody suffers from in 2026 at the minute in the current day. Not enough people spend time alone with their own thoughts. We've got so much kind of, going into our heads all the time that we don't really have time to process anything that's, either going in or it's already in there. Now, I cultivated the habit of running. I'm a bit of a runner. I don't like calling myself a runner and stuff. I'm not well, that's besides the point. Anyway, spend a lot of time running, a lot of time doing long walks. I get that time to spend alone quietly. And whenever I've had bad days at work or in life and family and events and all sorts of other things, long, quiet walks or runs are the main way that I've found it easiest to deal with it. Spending time alone with your thoughts to process them, see what's kind of going on in your own mind, and have that back and forth conversation with yourself. Whatever's going on in your head and whatever it is you might be like processing and learning, you need to have that time to really let the background tasks of your brain and your mind get to work and go through it. So important. I can't explain, enough the benefits that I've had from running and walking for this reason. One of the aspects is because people don't spend enough time alone. We end up suffering more in reality than we in the mind than we do in reality. That's another quote. I can't remember for somebody else. But we have these kind of imagined fears and anxieties and stuff. We don't really process them. People get out their phones and start doom scrolling through TikTok and Instagram and things and stuff. And it doesn't help. It's just distracting from the voices that are going on in your own head. I'd really, really recommend that people go out and look at the day today. Look at it. It's absolutely beautiful outside. I'm so lucky I get to come out here and stuff and spend this quiet time and read through my thoughts. I think a lot more of the world would be doing a lot better if they gave themselves and their brains and their minds chance to breathe and process. We live in a consumerist, society. I'm not anti-capitalist in any way, but I'm definitely, more against people spending more of their time just consuming things and not creating things. You need to be out in the world and creating and enjoying the processing and getting into the spirit of it. But I think everybody would really benefit if you had a daily practice of getting out and spending 1 hour a day walking quietly through a route that so that you don't have to worry about, where it is you're going or not getting lost, but, like kind of not knowing the way back and stuff, or not knowing how far it is, or not knowing how long it'll take you. Don't take your headphones. Don't take anything else. Maybe take a pad and a pen to note down your thoughts. Can be really valuable. I get my best ideas for content that I put down in here as soon as I get back from running. And but the running is where I actually really think through the majority of these thoughts and ideas. It's super valuable. Most of man's problems would be solved by sitting in a room alone quietly for a while. Give yourself that time. I know it's difficult for some people around the world. They don't really have a lot of time to spare, but filling it up with dopamine spiking, just scrolling, doing things and stuff isn't going to serve yourself or anyone any better. It's just dividing your attention, taking it somewhere else, and and then it's gone, and then the time's gone. Give yourself the mental break. Spend some time in a room quietly, or go for a long walk, no headphones, and enjoy the peace of mind and gain that back. Thanks for watching.